We always hear about the big cities, but what about the places where everything stopped happening? America is full of hidden towns with wild, shocking stories you've never heard. Today we're taking a road trip, not to tourist traps, but to the shadows of the American dream, to places time forgot. We'll see what happens when a coal fire never goes out, when a town becomes too toxic to live in, and when a dream just dies. If you think these stories matter, hit subscribe. It helps keep these forgotten histories alive. Buckle up, our first stop is literally on fire. Centralia, Pennsylvania. A place that, at first glance, looks like any other small American town. Quiet streets, rows of houses, and the gentle roll of Pennsylvania hills. But beneath the surface, something extraordinary and terrifying has been happening for decades. It sounds like a horror movie, but it's real. Centralia is a town with a secret that's been smoldering for generations, a place where the line between reality and nightmare blurs. In 1962, a fire started in a landfill next to an abandoned coal mine. What began as a routine effort to clean up the town dump turned into a disaster that would change Centralia forever. The fire found the coal, and it never went out. Underground, the flames spread through a vast network of coal seams, feeding on the rich deposits that had once brought prosperity to the town. An underground fire has been burning beneath Centralia for over 60 years. Day and night it creeps unseen, reshaping the land and the lives of those who once called this place home. At first people tried to ignore it. Life went on, kids played in the streets, families gathered for picnics, and the community hoped the fire would simply burn itself out. But then the ground got hot enough to cook an egg. The heat warped roads, melted snow in winter, and made the air shimmer on summer days. Sinkholes opened up, spewing steam and carbon monoxide. The earth itself became unpredictable, with sudden collapses and toxic gases threatening anyone nearby. A boy nearly fell in. The ground gave way beneath his feet, a chilling reminder that the danger was real and immediate. That's when the government stepped in, buying out homes. Most people left. Centralia emptied out. The once bustling town became a patchwork of abandoned houses and empty lots, as families were forced to say goodbye to generations of memories. Now it's a ghost town, streets to nowhere, sidewalks ending in weeds, and the famous graffiti highway, now buried beneath layers of earth and time. Nature is slowly reclaiming what was lost. What's haunting isn't just the emptiness, it's the sense of what was lost. Playgrounds stand silent and old photographs flutter in the wind, reminders of lives interrupted. You can almost hear echoes of the life that once thrived here. The laughter of children, the bustle of daily routines, all swallowed by the relentless fire below. The fire? Experts say it could burn for another 250 years. There's no way to put it out, and the underground inferno continues to shape the fate of Centralia. Centralia is a slow-motion apocalypse, a reminder that some disasters never end. The town stands as a living monument to the power of nature, and the consequences of human error. A handful of residents refuse to leave. Their homes are islands in a sea of emptiness, stubborn symbols of resilience and loss. Imagine living in a town of 5 surrounded by steaming vents with fire bubbling beneath your feet. Every day is a reminder of what once was, and what still lurks below. Centralia isn't just a ghost town, it's a warning. A testament to how quickly a community can vanish, and how the scars of disaster can last for centuries. Next we travel to Peacher, Oklahoma, a place that once thrived as a bustling mining town filled with hope and opportunity. Today it stands as a haunting reminder of what happens when industry and ambition go unchecked. Peacher is now considered one of the most toxic places in America, a ghost town shaped by its own tragic history. For decades, Piker produced the lead and zinc that fueled America's growth and even supplied materials for wars. The town's mines were once a source of pride and prosperity, drawing workers and families from all over. But the relentless mining left behind mountains of toxic waste, enormous chat piles, some rising hundreds of feet, looming over the town like artificial mountains. These piles became part of daily life. For years children played on them, rolling down the dusty slopes and building forts, never realizing the invisible danger that lurked in every handful of dirt. The community was unaware that their playgrounds were laced with poison. Eventually science caught up. Studies revealed that lead, cadmium, and other heavy metals had seeped into the water, air, and soil. The very ground people walked on, the water they drank, and the air they breathed were all contaminated. The health risks were staggering. Children suffered the most. Many developed learning disabilities, behavioral problems, and chronic illnesses. Families were devastated as the true cost of their prosperity became clear. The community's sense of safety and belonging was shattered. Beneath the surface, the ground was riddled with abandoned mine tunnels, creating a hidden labyrinth that threatened to collapse at any moment. Sinkholes began to appear, swallowing roads and homes, making the town even more dangerous. Eventually, the government stepped in. Peaker was declared uninhabitable. Mandatory evacuation orders were issued, and families were forced to leave behind everything they knew. There was no choice, everyone had to go. Imagine being told that your home, your memories, your entire life had to be abandoned. Generations of stories, laughter, and love, all left behind in a place now too dangerous to call home. Today, Peaker is a post-apocalyptic landscape. Empty houses line the streets, playgrounds are silent and overgrown, and those toxic mountains still loom, casting long shadows over what remains. They stand as grim monuments to a prosperity that ultimately destroyed itself. Some of the last residents fought desperately to stay, clinging to their homes and memories. But in the end, Peaker was erased from the map, its people scattered, its story a warning to us all. Peaker's fate is a chilling lesson. Sometimes the price of progress is everything we hold dear. The scars of its toxic legacy remain, urging us to remember and to do better. Now, we journey to Cairo, Illinois, a city perched at the dramatic meeting point of the Ohio and Mississippi rivers. Once, this unique location seemed to promise a future of endless opportunity, a place destined for greatness and prosperity. Cairo was a bustling hub for trade where steamboats and railroads converged, bringing goods, people, and dreams from all directions. Its riverfront teemed with life, commerce, and the hope of a thriving tomorrow. During the Civil War, Ulysses S. Grant established his headquarters here, making Cairo a strategic center for the Union Army. The town buzzed with military activity, its streets filled with soldiers and supplies. For a time, Cairo was seen as the next Chicago, a city poised to become a major metropolis of the Midwest, its future seemingly limitless. But beneath the surface, deep racial and economic divides festered. The city's promise was slowly undone by segregation, inequality, and mistrust that split the community in two. After the Civil War, newly freed African Americans arrived in search of opportunity and a better life. Instead, they were met with hostility, violence, and a system determined to keep them separate and unequal. The town's history became stained with lynchings, riots, and unrest. Racial tensions erupted into violence, leaving scars that would never fully heal. The civil rights movement brought boycotts and protests to Cairo's streets. As the struggle for justice intensified, the local economy faltered, and businesses began to close their doors. Jobs vanished, families moved away, and the once busy downtown became a landscape of boarded-up storefronts and empty lots. Then, as if echoing the city's troubles, the rivers rose and brought devastating floods. The very rivers that had once brought prosperity now threatened to wash away what remained, their floodwaters breaching levees and swallowing streets. Cairo found itself fighting wars on two fronts, one against the forces of nature, and another within its own divided heart. Today, grand old buildings stand empty, their once beautiful facades crumbling. The city is a haunting reminder of what was lost, a place where echoes of the past linger in every decaying brick. Cairo's story is a warning to us all. Hatred and division can destroy a place more thoroughly than any flood or fire. Its empty streets and silent homes remind us that a community's true strength lies in unity, compassion, and the courage to face its own history. Let's visit Bodie, California, a Wild West boomtown frozen in time. Bodie exploded overnight when gold was discovered. It was wild, lawless, and dangerous. But when the gold ran out, people vanished, leaving everything behind. Unlike other towns, Bodie wasn't redeveloped or torn down. It became a state historic park, preserved in arrested decay. Buildings are propped up but left as they were. Peek inside and you'll see tables set for dinner, shelves stocked with goods from the 1880s. The silence is striking. The wind whistles through broken windows and you walk the same dusty streets where gunslingers once faced off. Bodie is a haunting monument to the boom and bust cycle of the American West. Its story reminds us how fleeting fortune can be, and how sometimes the most valuable thing left behind is the story itself. Some towns die slowly, with people still living among the ruins. That's Gary, Indiana. Built by U.S. Steel in 1906, Gary was the American dream: jobs, homes, opportunity. But when the steel industry declined, so did Gary. Layoffs, white flight, and crime hollowed out the city. Its population plummeted. Beautiful buildings like the City Methodist Church became ruins, yet not all is lost. Some blocks are pristine with people fighting for their city. They're turning abandoned lots into urban farms, seeking new purpose. Gary isn't a ghost town, it's a city in transition, grappling with its identity. Its story is about resilience, about what happens when an industry leaves but the people remain, determined to build something new from the ruins. Now for something spooky. Dudleytown, Connecticut, a place some say is cursed. Founded in the 1740s, Dudleytown was plagued by tragedy, insanity, suicides, epidemics, and bizarre deaths. The land was rocky and infertile, life was harsh, and stories of a curse grew. By the early 1900s, everyone was gone. The forest reclaimed the land, leaving only stone foundations. Paranormal investigators flocked here, reporting strange lights and voices. Was it really cursed? Maybe it was just bad luck, harsh conditions, and isolation? But Dudleytown's legend endures, a chilling reminder that sometimes, the scariest ghosts are the real-life tragedies a place endures. Deep in West Virginia's New River Gorge is Thurmond, a town with just 5 residents but a million memories. A century ago, Thurmond was a bustling railroad and coal hub, famous for its saloons and legendary poker games. But when diesel engines replaced steam, the train stopped coming, the town emptied out, the buildings remained, perfectly preserved by neglect. Today most of Thurmond is owned by the National Park Service. You can walk the main street, really the railroad tracks, and see the old bank, engine house, and stores. Thurmond isn't spooky or tragic, it's quiet, peaceful, a poignant echo of the industrial age. It's a place where 5 people keep the memories of thousands alive, a silent monument to progress. From fire to poison, from ghost towns to cities fighting for survival, we've seen a hidden America. These places are more than sad stories, they're vital parts of our history. They remind us that every success has a cost, and every forgotten place has a lesson. Sharing these stories keeps them alive. If you believe remembering is a form of rescue, hit subscribe. There are more roads to travel, more stories to tell. The journey isn't over. Stick around. What we find next might change how you see everything. Until then, stay curious and remember the places time forgot.